And so we are in a state of emergency.
Okay, white supremacist violence is and always has been the number one threat to our society.
But I'm also very proud that my wife is white.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
All right, Charlene, please tell me, why was I your donkey of the day?
Well, donkey of the day for Friday, June 18th goes to the 14 Republican lawmakers who voted against making Juneteenth a national holiday. Where do I even begin with this? First of all, let me give you their names. Andy Biggs of Arizona, Mo Brooks of Alabama, Andrew Clyde of Georgia, Scott DeSarles of Tennessee, Paul Gosar of Arizona, Ronnie Jackson of Texas, Doug Lamoffel of California, Thomas Massey of Kentucky, Tom McClintock of California, Ralph Norman of South Carolina, Mike Rogers of Alabama, Matt Rosendale of Montana, Chip Roy of Texas, and a man with two first names, Tom Tiffany of Wisconsin. That's a great name if you're gender fluid. Tom Tiffany. Ugh, I can taste all the mayonnaise in my mouth right now. Ugh, so much sodium.
Too much goddamn mayonnaise.
But all those individuals voted against making Juneteenth a U.S. federal holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. Now, they don't matter because the House overwhelmingly passed the bill and it has been signed into law by President Joe Biden. Let's go to ABC 7 NY for the report, please.
President Biden making it official. For the first time since 1983, there's a new federal holiday on the calendar.
Juneteenth has been known by many names. Jubilee Day, Freedom Day, Liberation Day, Emancipation Day, and today, a national holiday.
Juneteenth marks the date that the last enslaved African Americans were granted their freedom.
This is a day of profound, in my view, profound weight and profound power. A day in which we remember the moral stain, the terrible toll that slavery took on the country and continues to take.
Now, why am I giving these 14 Republicans who voted against making Juneteenth a national holiday donkey of the day? It's because I think it's very important to highlight these individuals because it shows you that white supremacy, racism never take a day off. They are always actively fighting against us, okay? They are so against any type of black progress that they wouldn't even vote to give themselves an extra day off. Do you know how racist you have to be to not want an extra day off? You shouldn't let your prejudices and biases stop you from practicing self-care. We all know vacation days are a form of self-care, so why would you stop yourself from getting an extra vacation day, from getting the time off you deserve? I'll tell you why. Because these people are committed to making sure your black ass don't get nothing. Okay, I tell folks don't practice bad habits, and that's what these 14 Republican lawmakers did. They're not practicing bad habits. They used to voting against black people and black issues. They not going to start voting for us now. Okay, I bet you would vote to make National Mayonnaise Day a federal holiday, though. Okay, you human jaws of Hellmans are tired of sharing National Mayonnaise Day with Cinco de Mayo, aren't you? Oh, that's a Snapple fact. You didn't know National Mayonnaise Day is on the 5th of May? So when you see certain white people out celebrating on Cinco de Mayo and they got mayonnaise on their tacos, now you know why. Okay, I bet you would vote to make National Mayonnaise Day a federal holiday as long as they move it from May 5th because you don't want the Mexicans to have any joy either. But let's focus. Why did the 14 Republican lawmakers vote against Juneteenth? I mean, we can all assume the real reasons, right? Racism, bigotry, prejudice, the usual. But let's humor them and listen to some of their reasoning. This is Andy Biggs of Arizona explaining why he voted against it.
The Democrats have labeled it Juneteenth National Independence Day. And what it is really is it's Emancipation Day. They could have made this a really harmonious, celebratory bill because I think everybody would have passed this thing out unanimously if they would have taken it through committee and they would have changed the name to Juneteenth National Emancipation Day. But they've weaponized this bill like they weaponize everything else. They want to divide, and that's just a shame because I support the celebration of Juneteenth.
The name. You agree with what the bill is about, the emancipation of the slaves, but since you disagree with the name, you're voting against it. I will never understand how people who don't have lips can give so much lip service. I mean, Andy, you sat there and said you agree with the, emancipation of the slaves. You agree this moment should be commemorated, but you don't agree with the name. If you don't like black people, just say it, bro. Chip Roy of Texas released a statement. I have a transcript of it, and he said, this name needlessly divided our nation on a matter that should instead bring us together by creating a separate Independence Day based on the color of one's skin. Chip, listen to me. America is a melting pot. It is so many ethnicities in this country that all make this country what it is. So the day the enslaved were emancipated should be a great day for all Americans. Okay, the emancipation of slaves should be celebrated simply because this country promises freedom, liberty, and justice for all. You can't have that if you have a group of Americans, and I put Americans in air quotes, in bondage. Okay, not to mention this country has plenty of cultural holidays and heritage celebrations. If Juneteenth is considered an ethnic holiday, so what? Okay, let us descendants of the enslaved celebrate, and y'all just enjoy the day off. If you want to be mad on your day off and post why Juneteenth shouldn't be a national holiday, fine. But at least enjoy the day off. Hell, we do it all the time. White man's holidays happen. We get the day off. We get on social media and remind y'all, you know, in the words of Frederick Douglass, what to the slave is the 4th of July. Hey, we not enslaved anymore unless you're in prison. But I think we all know what Frederick Douglass said then still stands true now, because it's hypocritical for a nation to celebrate its independence, its freedom, yet doesn't bestow all those same freedoms to everybody. Okay, we know this, all right? We know 4th of July, not about us, but we still take the day off and go to a great cookout. Okay, the real story behind Thanksgiving is dark as hell. America loves Thanksgiving, parades, food, but that's through the lens of a colonizer. Ask a Native American their perspective. Its origins were murder. Okay, a massacre that killed hundreds of Native Americans. And to them, Thanksgiving is just a reminder of said murder and the systemic racism and oppression that Native Americans still go through in this country. But guess what? They still take the day off. Okay, if we have learned to live with holidays we don't like in this country, so can y'all. Okay? I know the problem, though. I know the problem. See, the reason these 14 Republicans don't want the day off, because what do we do on these days off, on these holidays? We eat. If these 14 Republicans who voted against Juneteenth family knew how to properly season their food, they would want this day off. If your family put raisins in their potato salad, you too would try to limit the number of cookouts you have to attend in a year. Please let Kathy Griffin give the 14 Republican lawmakers who voted against Juneteenth the biggest hee-haw.
Please give this giant jar of mayo the biggest hee-haw.
If my family didn't wash our chicken, I wouldn't want the day off either to go to a cookout.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.